Welcome back, and we're ready for game turn 47. Now, overnight, I put a post on BGG and asked about the thing that I was struggling with last game turn, in that I had attacked that black position up there with one unit. I ended up being way overmatched at 1 to 3 strength, and it says here if there's a revealed depth marker and if there's an unrevealed or a revealed, one of the results is D+, which is gain a depth marker. I clarified with Jeff Yost that no, in fact, a unit cannot have more than one depth marker. So that is incorrect on this chart. I asked him to fix it, and he said yes, so hopefully he will. That means that this position here, though, where I had a depth and I added another depth, does not have another depth. So I'm going to throw this back in the bucket where it came from. It was unrevealed anyway, so there's no secrets lost. And so this still remains stacked 4. And I did reveal too, he did comment too, which I asked for clarification for in the rules update. I did Suribachi wrong because he stated that you are only supposed to populate the first fort in a stack. All right, in a hilltop fortification, just like this one is. The reason this one, the second fort, isn't populated for me simply is because there weren't any reserve units left to populate it. So, but in a situation like Suribachi, where it's the beginning of the game, or any other situation, and it would be the same with the meat grinder down here, I had it as a 6 stack. Shouldn't have been that way. He says that you're only supposed to populate the top fortification with a unit and a depth marker. And then once that fortification is destroyed and the units are defeated, then the second fort populates. So that'll help. Well, that and really that ends up being slightly inconsequential with the change from to having a maximum of 3 hits from any position hex. So even if this was stacked 6 high with 2 forts and a unit and a depth underneath each fort, it still would have a maximum of 3 hits. So all that to say, what I did in earlier videos with the quarry position and then with Suribachi over there, where they were stacked 6 high and they were hitting me up to 6 hits per turn, that shouldn't have happened. So maybe this wouldn't have been as difficult for me as I passed by it. Maybe Suribachi wouldn't have been as difficult. So be it. I've given myself enough advantages where that kind of, that washes out, I guess. But, for future reference, that's the way it should be according to the creator of the game. So, anyway, to start the turn, we are in the midday phase. So there is no HQ, so all we do is our first event, which is Japanese depth. Okay. And just to remind myself, I will look at the events. And is it one or is it in both sectors? Japanese depth marker to the nearest Japanese occupied position adjacent to a U.S. unit in each sector. It's got to be adjacent to a U.S. unit. Here it is right here. Japanese depth marker to the nearest Japanese occupied position adjacent to a U.S. unit in each sector. If all are occupied, add it to the nearest black position. Alright, and once again, I don't think that I have anything that's adjacent that doesn't... Oh, this guy right here. That I knocked out his depth. Now regains a depth. So this guy that I couldn't defeat in close combat last round now gets a depth marker. That sucks. Alright. There's a regular depth. This cup, my fourth sector depth is really low. My third sector depth is pretty low, but still has a little bit of heft in there. Probably 8 or so. Somewhere in those two, there's 2 tanks, and I have yet to draw them. I drew a tank way back here, I don't know, in one of these positions, you know, 20 turns ago or whenever it was, and I haven't drawn one since. I hope I'm not jinxing myself and I'm going to draw both of them on the next turn or something. But anyway, so that guy gets a depth. That's unfortunate. So I may have to barrage him, you know, to try to get rid of that depth before I close combat him. So that may be another turn. I don't know. We'll see how that plays out. Okay. So now we got Japanese fire phase, and that's going to hurt. We got a red, we got blue, R, and we've got green. Again, the R's don't scare me as much anymore because I don't have any depth, or I don't have any units in the reserve. So first is first we'll do black, and of course this guy gets undisrupted, and that's all that happens there. These blacks fire. That's 4 hits I'm going to have to absorb, and so let's see. This guy will get hit. This is my only unhit guy. This is the guy that got disrupted when I attacked that stack. So he will get hit. Let me go get my depth markers, or my depth markers, my step loss markers. All right, so this guy gets hit. That's 1. He's already disrupted. He can't get redisrupted. So that's all that happens there. Everybody else here, I think, has already been hit. So they're at 3 steps. So then it just goes down to which ones get hit for the second time. So it's going to be my heavy weapons because that's the highest strength. So that's 1. And then I guess we'll hit both of the guys in here just to keep my stacks manageable. So both of these guys get hit. Alright, so that's 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, whoops. Alright, everybody else is good. Now we start barraging, and that's where hopefully we can avoid any more hits if we continually barrage them and get them down. Alright, so that's the black positions. Now red, I don't think I have any red. No, and red is just a standard fire, so there's no letter actions. R is the redeploy, reinforce, all of that mess. There are no active blue positions, and I think if it's unoccupied, it's reinforce, place a reserve unit with a depth marker, and fire. I don't have any reserve units, so that action doesn't happen. So blue doesn't happen, and then green is just a standard fire as well. This is a pretty easy card as far as letter actions are concerned. So green, I don't have any green positions occupied either. So that's it. The black positions hit me, and that's all there is to it. Alright, so we roll on to our second event. Caves. I was hoping I'd get something different. Caves. This would be my third cave. Alright, cave is placed in a non-position hex. I do have one available. So, but it's a depth marker though. It's a depth marker that gets placed with the cave. I was going to say I don't have any reserve units, but it doesn't matter. Cave is placed in a non-position hex next to any hilltop position that is still Japanese occupied. One depth marker is placed with the cave and is unrevealed until attacked by the unit. Alright, so hilltop position. Where? Hilltop position that is still Japanese occupied. No actual Japanese unit is ever placed when CC'd. Whenever you barrage a cave, cave is not a fortification. Alright, so it just says next to a hilltop, doesn't say where. This cave, unrevealed. Yeah, so it doesn't say where, so it's just going to be next to a Japanese hilltop. Oh, so there's my armored depth. There's one of them anyway. It was bound to happen. I don't know that an armored depth can be in a cave. Does that make sense? I don't think that makes sense. I'm gonna house rule that and say no. I mean, that's just gonna hurt me. Really, an armored depth in a cave is probably the best thing for me as far as the cave is concerned. But I don't think that's I don't know. I can't picture that being a real thing. So I might make a suggestion that he makes a caveat to that in the rules. So here's the hilltop position that I'm closest to. I mean, we've also got this hilltop position too, but I would say it probably needs to go closer to me. So I'm going to drop it right there. Although it's weird that well, I guess, yeah, we just discovered that maybe. The cave was always there, but we just discovered it. So there. There's a cave next to me. That's the event. Oops. Okay, so now time for my actions. First things first, let's bomb the snot out of these fortifications, shall we? Alright, I've got 3 naval strike points at my disposal. I might try to use one of those, even though it will be discounted. But first, let's do it with the tanks, because tanks are awesome. All right, so I need to divide it up and do probably 1 hit here and 2 hits here. So I've got those tanks there. I think I moved tanks into this position here. Yes, I did. Alright, so that is a circle. Oops, put those on sideways. Alright, so we'll need to draw for our tank, or our black position color. Alright, so there they all are. They're all within 3. We're all good. So our color is purple. We want to see purple. So the first one's going to be let's do a purple circle on this one. I got a purple diamond, of course. Crap. I outthought myself. I thought, well, let me do that one first. I was going to go around the horn, and then I didn't, and I should have. So it's the fire color. It is a 6+ strength, so it's disrupted. Artillery destroyed, which doesn't matter. Doesn't have artillery. And then we have a possible fortification reduction. So, and I guess that's okay. But I would have liked to have had this on the other position, because I could have eliminated the depth. If I got the symbol in the fire in the color. So now I need to see a landing color that is red, purple, or green. I got a red. Beautiful. All right. So, oh wait, no. Oh yeah. I was thinking, shoot, that doesn't do me any good here, but it does. So this this guy is gone, and you know what? That's right. I forgot. I'm running out of forts, and I don't have any more class 3. So I'm going to pause for a second. I'm going to take my forts out of my destroyed units baggie here, and I'm going to mix them all up in my cup so that I can draw one. All right, I got all my forts back, and just what I've been doing with the forts is, if it calls for a random one, obviously you just draw one out, but if it calls for a specific, like right now I have to get a level 3. I just kind of eyeball it. I see that the level 3s are white. I grab one and try not to look at the thing. However, in this case, it comes in revealed, so that's beside the point. But at the same time, oops. Just trying to maintain some secrecy as much as possible and not, I don't know. I suppose that didn't need explanation, but I did anyway, because that's what I do. I over-explain things. Alright, so I used them, so those guys are done. And now I'm going to use the triangle. What are the odds that a purple triangle comes up twice in a row? Not very good, but I still got the color, so it disrupts them all. And it's a possible fortification hint. So I need a red, a purple, or a yellow. I got a red, so that reduces this fort and disrupts it. So this guy is gone, and I need a class 3. That'll be this one. It's disrupted. Alright, so that's that tank. And now I'm going to hit it with this tank. So I need a purple circle. I didn't get any. So that's it for my tanks. And now I suppose I'll go ahead and use a naval point on this one. It's going to go from a 6 point to a 5 point. So really I could use an artillery and do the same thing. I have 3 naval though, so I'm going to go ahead and use a naval strike, which again would have technically, according to the rules, happened at the beginning of my actions and not now, but I'm not sticking strictly to that. All right, so I want a purple triangle. I got neither, so that naval strike was wasted. Let's go ahead and do an airstrike. What the heck? Just because I have the points. So an airstrike will be a purple circle. And I got neither, so I wasted an airstrike too. Awesome. Okay. So that's the end of those barrages. Now we're going to come down here and do my tank barrages on this guy. So there's one group. There's another group. And there is the third group. So I need, let's just go ahead and use purple. No sense in drawing a new one. So we're going to do purple triangle first. I got the triangle but not the purple. A little bit of a downgrade. Disrupt 1 unit. Destroy artillery, possible fortification hit. Alright, so they'll be disrupted. And so I want a red, a blue, or a green. I got a blue, so that fort's gone. And the unit is disrupted. Alright, so I can't barrage on this turn. But with the fort gone, I can attack next turn. Or I barraged, I can't attack on the same turn. I could close combat him. The problem with this guy is that I didn't get the units revealed. And I forget how it happened where I got these units revealed and didn't get those. I guess it was the strength of the attack or whatever. And I think it was because the first attack, I was blocked. And so it just disrupted me, and it was it. But anyway, the fort's gone, so now I can start hitting those guys next turn. And so that was that tank. So now I've got more tanks, but I really, there's nothing else to barrage. Everything's disrupted. So there's nothing to barrage. So I guess the tanks go unused right now. So I'm gonna undisrupt. And, well, I guess I'll undisrupt everybody at the end. So, do I want to try to close combat this idiot here? I don't know, because my units have taken a beating. But I kind of have to. Now I could move units out. Yeah, that's probably the call. Let's move these guys out here. And we'll move, well, those are my tank guys. We'll move these guys over here. Well, let's move these guys over there. Can I get them there without disrupting anybody? Yeah, I can't. The whole overstacking thing kills me. Alright, well, let's do this. I'm not too concerned with the guy down here being disrupted because I'm not going to use him. So I'm going to go one over. That will overstack this, and then he's going to come. Oh, wait, that's a bluff hex, so he can't move too. Nuts, he could move this way. Going to. Oh, this is only one unit though. Okay, well this stack here is just got the one unit on him. So these guys can one at a time jump over here and then jump into here. And then I'll close combat with these guys next because they're full strength. Keeping them here. Gosh, do I still have the strength? Yeah, I've got 6 strength here, so that combines to... Right, control is 6 strength. Is that all I need? Shoot, no, I don't know. If I have that that stack, that position controlled, page 34. U.S. control 2 U.S. infantry or engineering units stacked together, any combination possessing 3 or more total steps. Okay, so I've got 6 total steps there, so that works. Alright, so all you need is 3 steps, and I've got 6 here, so those 2 are still controlled. Alright, so nothing else is happening on the black positions. Let's go ahead and start moving these guys up into position here. 1, 2, and then bounce over here. I mean, it's a little scary that I'm only getting 2 guys in here, 2 stacks in here right now. Although I guess I'll have an engineer. The steady fire here from Brown. I got to do it though. I mean, these guys got to come up and assault. So come up here on the road, and then the third movement is into the woods right here. This grouping here will come up and get there. I'll move my tanks along so they can support if I get some hits on them and I need to either get tank support or barrage them. Why is there a disruption marker on the bottom of this stack? I don't know what that's doing there. 1, 2, 3. Alright, so the 9s, the 3 9s, let's go 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. I don't, or do I want to, I don't know that I think this is the last thing I want to hit. So I don't want to surround it. I want to take the brown out. Well, I guess I might as well start swarming. Not coming in on this yet. I want to get everything else taken care of and then make this the last bloody battle with everybody closing in from all sides. That's my goal. I don't want to populate this with a fort yet, although now I'm within 3, so it's going to populate. It just won't fire. So now I'm within 3, so that's going to get that is going to get a level 2 fort, which is that one, and a level 1 fort, which is that one. They'll get mixed up. This guy will gain a depth, which again What if I picked that armor depth for a hilltop position? And I did. So, again, I don't think that a hilltop would get a tank. So hang on. So here's another problem. Alright, nowhere in the rule book does it say what to do when you draw one of these. Where it says how to set these up is on this thing here, where it just simply says mix the 3 Japanese tank depth markers. I can't even tell if this is on screen. Yeah. Mix the 3 Japanese tank depth markers into the depth marker pools for sectors 3 and 4, then allocate those pools according to the setup below. Sure. When such a tank depth marker is revealed, place the tank unit in that position with its depth marker. Why is that not in the rules? And then there's nothing that says anything about when you draw the tank marker, can a tank go in a fortification on a hilltop? And I say no. I mean, there's no reason that this tank would be sitting in a hilltop that it can't get out of. How did it get up there in the first place? My tanks can't go up there. So why can this tank go up there? So I'm saying no to that. It just doesn't make sense. Now that said, I've only got one more depth marker in here, so I know that this tank depth is the next depth that's coming out. Which, okay. But yeah, that's something that needs to be clarified. Alright, so that is set up. I'm also within 3 of this one, but there's no units to put there. Yay! So I can't put any units there. There's no, oh, there is a fort that goes here. Alright, and it's just a random fort. So we get the random fort. And we put the random fort there. And there is also a fort here, now that I see that. So we get the random fort. So this is going to not be the easiest end of the game, but at least there's no units that go in there. Sweet. Actually, this one wouldn't go yet because I'm not within 3, but it doesn't matter. I'm going to leave it there. It's not going to fire on me anyway, so that's fine. Alright, so I moved those guys up in there. These guys are set to attack brown. Yay. Now what to do with everybody else. They are not moving along roads, so they are moving slower. So do I just get the rest of these guys in position to hit black when I'm ready? Because I think it'll take, you know, maybe another 3-4 turns to hit that, maybe another 3-4 turns to do that. In the meantime, swinging around, I guess I just get these guys, you know, these guys are moving along the road getting ready for here. These guys are just going to slowly march. Sure. I got nothing else to do with them. I mean, I guess I can swing them around the road. And come up behind him, maybe? Yeah, sure. Get my tanks closer. 1, 2, 3. I got 3 groups. There's my 3 groups of tanks right there. 1, 2, 3. Alright, these guys are going to hop down here. 1, 2, 3. My headquarters. 1, 2. Oh, this is the 9s though. Okay, so those are all 9s, so I want them to be moving along with my 9s. They're like one step behind them. Alright, so now the rest of the 21s. Oh, my heavy weapons and this engineer, I guess, will come along here. This engineer can come along and join this group. And these are 21s. But I guess that's okay. Alright, moving along. Moving up here. March, march, march. Sure. And then I think I go ahead and pick up my command post, which can't move more than 1. So my 21 command post is going to come off the board as they're on the move. So I took it off the tracker over there. 9 still remains off the tracker, which is midday, so it couldn't have reset up anyway. Alright, the rest of these guys are hanging around here. I guess that's my one unit with the tanks. Yeah, I'm going to keep this configuration the way it is. I don't really need to move anybody here, so I'm just going to leave them where they are. Let's see. I hate to waste the rest of these dudes. So I guess let's move these guys along here. I mean, this puts them in brown field of fire, but I just feel like they're not effective. Okay, so that's it there. Let's come up here. Alright, I barrage, so I cannot attack. So the only thing I have up here that I can attack with the 4th Division is this new cave, which I can't because they're disrupted. So let's just keep moving guys around. I'm going to go 1. Now this black position up here is going to be interesting. So as soon as I move here, a fort appears here. So we'll once again get a random fort without a unit, because there's no units to place, and he'll go there. So should I just go ahead and come up and smack this thing? Sure. Let's move here. These are 325s. There's my other 325s. So maybe, hang on. We'll move them down here with these guys. That's my tank coverage. And we'll go 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, like that. So they'll come over here, cover that brown. Maybe assault the black, since there's no units that can go in there. Maybe we'll just close combat that sucker and get rid of it once and for all. Sure. Sounds like a plan. These guys are cocked, but they haven't moved yet. So this is 225s. These are 225s. Let's move them along as well. 1, 2. I'll move them up into here for 1. My heavy weapons over here. Let's see, 224s. Where's the rest? Where's my other 224? I got headquarters and one guy here. I got the other guy here. I don't know where my 3rd guy is. Heavy weapons. Maybe he's in here. Yeah, there he is. With a step loss. Alright. So they'll lose their disruption. They'll lose their disruption. They're not going anywhere anyway. They'll lose their disruption. They'll lose their disruption. Okay. Under here, they will lose their disruption. Alright, so that said, let's just go ahead and do this. I'll go 1, 2. 1, 2. They're disrupted, so no muff. Okay, let's see, what if I did this? I go 1, 2 into here. Now I've effectively cut off communication. 1, 2. Those guys are done. My 124s, I'll just move these guys in closer to here. Because this guy is going to be remarkably more hard to close combat, so I need to barrage. Oh, no, I used all my barrages on these guys. So, yeah, so that was wasted. I probably could have and should use an airstrike or something on here to try to get rid of that depth. I guess it's going to have to be a tank hit or a naval hit to try to get rid of the depth on this guy before I close combat him. I'll just keep him disrupted. Okay, so they're all surrounded. These guys over here really have nothing to do. That's just one unit, so let's move my rifleman on top there. And yeah, well, yeah, I'll move these guys in here. The 124s are here and here. These are 323s. So these guys are split one space, but that's okay. Now I've reunited these two over here. So that's fine. Alright, so that should be it. I don't think there's anything else I can do. I've moved up. I'm going to attack these guys next. With any luck, brown won't come up. So these guys won't attack and these guys will stay disrupted. Brown's the only one that I'm really worried about coming up. Because that's the only color that's... Brown is the only color that's occupied right now, other than black. Interesting. Okay. So there's that. Now we go artillery. I did not destroy any artillery this turn, so it's still Sector 3 has 1 point left. I don't even know where that point is. I don't know how and why. I guess maybe it's here. Yeah, there it is. Oops. That's the last point of artillery right there. Okay. Oh, did I occupy anybody? I should have come over here. Could I have done that? I used these guys. I think I might have been able to do that. So let me, yeah, because these guys were up here. So they moved 2 into here. Let me move a third space right here just to destroy that artillery. And then these guys will move into here just because they can. Alright, so that destroys another piece of artillery. Let me get an artillery destroyed marker. That brings Japanese Sector 4 down to 6 points. Alright, so we'll put that there. My artillery destroyed. Was there anything else I moved into that had artillery that I didn't notice? No, I'd already been in there. So where are the remaining 6 points? I got 1, 2, no, that doesn't have artillery. Where's artillery down here? There's 1. I've destroyed that. I don't know where the rest of the artillery is here. Let me look. Because it seems like artillery should be pretty much gone here. So there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. There's only 5 points of artillery in Sector 4. There's 6 points of artillery and 7 points of artillery in Sector 4. And I've destroyed 6 of them. What the heck? Where do they get 10? Where are there 10 points of artillery in here? I don't understand. Alright, well, I've got 6 out of the 7 that show. So somewhere I forgot to mark something. So they should be down to 4 at most. So that's 2 points into Sector 3. That is well below half. And that's 4 points into Sector 4. That's above half. Or 3 points in Sector 4 because I took a point away. So yeah, so no artillery. All right. Well, I'm gonna have to look at the board after everything's cleared off and see if I can count up the artillery. I don't know why they would be 10 because hilltop fortifications are worth 2. Artillery positions and hilltop fortifications are worth 2 points. Every other artillery is worth 1 point, except for Suribachi's got different point totals. So it's supposed to add up to 10 in Sector 4, and I just don't see 10. I don't know. Maybe I missed something. All right, so raid phase, everybody's good. So we're good. That is turn number 46. Ready to move on to the PM. I'm sorry, that was turn 47. Ready to move to the PM phase.